It's important that you understand that your life is a culmination of various factors that are involved. You are not the sole contributor of your own reality. What do I mean by that? This entire world is not contingent upon you being here or not. So you have to eliminate yourself from that equation and that mentality of thinking like I'm responsible for everything that I encounter. No, you're not. You're not responsible for me moving my hand like this or a plane 41,000 feet up in the air or the trees the way they're blowing. You're not responsible for any of it. That's why the law of attraction is just absolute nonsense. They try to get you to think that everything that happens to you, you're attracting it. That's just garbage. It's absolute garbage. You can have to be having the happiest day of your life and have something terrible happen to you. You're not responsible for other people's energies, their mentality, their state of being, what's going on in their life, their emotional baggage, whatever somebody else is doing to them, problems from their past that they haven't resolved or even addressed, elements of energies that they've internalized or suppressed. They just refuse to just face them, let alone allow them to surface so they can address them and heal them and release them. People like playing pretend games with themselves like they're, far beyond these things. That happens to other people, never me. I'm incapable of that kind of nonsense. So I want you to look at what's going on around you as a direct result of the culmination of all of the energies on the earth, not just human beings, because human beings are not the only energies on this planet. So whenever you go outside in society or wherever you are, you're not responsible for a lot of what's going on around you. They will make you believe that you're responsible for all of it, but you're not. How could you? How could you? You didn't create these trees and the sky and the earth. You had nothing to do with it. And everything that happens every day on this planet. You are responsible for the energy that you carry. Like, in other words, I'll give you an example. Whatever is occupying your field of energy the most, that's what you're responsible for. This is what you will observe in your immediate proximity, your immediate environment. Now, the way energy works is simple. Everything is an equivalent to something at some point. Right now, you're an equivalent to some frequency at some point. So therefore, you've activated that field of energy, and now you have inserted yourself inside that vibrational environment. Now you're going to recognize things that resonate in frequency with that vibrational environment that you are equivalent to. In other words, let's say we have a building here. It holds 10,000 people. And inside that building, you have Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. They're all mixed in together. They're all wearing the uniforms, but they're all mixed in together. That's the earth. It's all a blending. It's a colloidal emulsion. It's an amalgam. It's a conglomerate of everything. Now, let's say that same building, you have an Army general, and you have a Navy admiral, and you have the Air Force commander. They come to the building and say, I want all of the Marines right here, right now. And they go to the top officer. And all of the Marines will start separating themselves from that crowd as a group. Because they are equivalent to that vibrational environment to which that head officer is in charge of, which is the vibrational environment itself, right? And then the admiral will come, all Navy guys right here. And then you'll see the Navy separate themselves out from the crowd. And then the Air Force and so on and so forth. But that's what this is. This is a blending of the everything of everything. You're not responsible for what politicians are doing or the crime in the world. You're responsible for yourself and how you use your energy and how that energy is applied in this collective or not. So do not take wholehearted responsibility entirely for everything you see around you. You can't. Go on the parkway and drive your car. Are you responsible for everybody else driving the car the way they are? No. How could you be? Especially the guy that's tailgating you. You're not responsible for him being angry and short-tempered and can't stand his life and he has no patience and he wants to literally just drive over you because you're not going fast enough. How are you responsible for that? You're responsible for allowing his energy to penetrate you and you assimilating it and then having that person drive your car. Because now you care about what they think and you've surrendered your energy, so now they're in control of you. So now you're a puppet. They're controlling your car remotely, like a remote control car. That you are responsible for. These are the things I'm trying to bring to your attention. You're not responsible for anybody but yourself. And you're certainly not responsible for the reality of this life around you. You're only responsible for what you do with your energy. What you do to activate things or deactivate things, to create things or destroy them, to nurture them or absolutely just hurt them. You have the power to hurt or heal, not just with your words, but more importantly, with your energy. So I'm trying to get you to realize that you're not responsible for your reality wholeheartedly. Only some portions are you responsible for. You could be having a great day, taking a walk outside, getting a breath of fresh air, and see something horrendous happen in front of you. You had nothing to do with it. You didn't attract it. You didn't create it. It had nothing to do with your energy. These things are out of your control. You need to learn that you only have to apply those elements to life with your energies, the things you can control and things you can change, and the things you can create. Only use your energies for things that you can control, things you can change, and things you can create. But you have to realize there's so many aspects of this life that are far out of your control that you will not ever be in control of. This is where people get it wrong with the manifestation process. The ego takes control, and tries to control the outcome of things. And then you get hung up on the descriptions of things because of the ego. It's very superficial. So like if you want to manifest a partner, they have to be super sexy, six-pack, ripped, all that superficial garbage, because you're hung up on the descriptions of things and you're not concentrating on the energies, how they're going to make you feel substantially and qualitative, not quantitative. Because you've been programmed to be superficial and materialistic. So therefore, that is what your focus will be. You don't understand the unlimited magnitude, intensity, and power of your energy. This is the reason why you piddle it away. And this is the reason why you get all these catastrophic experiences that are, presenting themselves to you, because you unconsciously are requesting them. But you are not responsible for my life. I'm not responsible for your life. From the moment I was born up until now, you had nothing whatsoever to do with my life. So how could you take responsibility for the reality that I observe every day? You can't. And my reality is an integral portion of what's going on in this world right now. Is it not? Because I am alive on this planet, just like you are. So you are not responsible for the everything of everything that goes on around you. You're responsible for your own immediate field of energy and what you consciously choose to do or not do with that energy. That is what you're responsible for. So there it is in a nutshell. Because energy will always recognize itself. Like does not attract like. I always use the example of two tuning forks. If you have two tuning forks side by side, tuned to the same frequency, let's say 432 hertz, hit one, the other one will always resonate and vibrate without having to have been physically struck. Why is that? Because they occupy the same vibrational field as equivalent, kindred to each other. They recognize each other. If you have two tuning forks side by side, and one is tuned to the frequency of 432 hertz, and another one is tuned to the frequency of 431 hertz, no matter how much you hit one, the other one will not vibrate. It will not resonate. It will not ring out. Why? Because they do not occupy the same vibrational field of equivalent energy. They do not share that equivalency. They are not a kindred match with each other. So therefore, they do not recognize each other. Nothing to do with the law of attraction. You don't attract anything to you. You activate everything. Whatever type of mood, attitude, behavior, posture, demeanor, temperament you are currently carrying, monitor your feelings and emotions, as these are prime indicators as to which specific types of energies, frequencies, and vibrations you are carrying. So whatever you're carrying, you're sending out. Whatever you're sending out, you're going to receive. The universe will always concur with the dominant vibrational alignment of whatever you are in the moment, whatever that is. They will offer you experiences that match the dominant frequency of whatever transmissions you're broadcasting, whatever frequency you're broadcasting on, whatever it is, extremely low, ultra high, or something in the middle. That is why you have to recognize your power and why you unconsciously do things that not only give it away to others, but also help you destroy yourself, because you, in the end, are always the catalyst of your own demise, whether you realize that or not, because you don't realize the power of what you carry and what you are and who you are. That's why they intentionally didn't fill in the blanks when you came to this earth. And they won't. They'll just feed you the same disingenuous spirituality and mysticism and law of attraction, pineal gland, the twin flame phenomenon, and astrology and all that garbage. Look at astrology, how much bunk it is. Okay? All they do is they keep referring to what? 9, 10 planets? Saturn, Uranus, Jupiter, Mars, all that's all you hear is Mars is in retrograde. That's why you feel very heavy and very off. That's a bunch of garbage. Why do I say this? Because how many planets are out there in the universe? Endless. You see what I'm saying? How they get you to associate with a finite system that was created in their science by reptilians. I hope you are seeing the bigger picture of this. I really hope. Everything that they do is always of a finite nature. That's why they say man contemplates his existence. And then they refer to this earth as an astral plane of existence. Thriving is far more than living. Existence is so much less than survival. They don't want you to thrive in any given environment. They want you to exist, as a petty little specimen that you are in their eyes. But you're not, because we are all equal in the eyes of the Almighty. And they don't want you to know that. Nobody's inferior or superior. Equal. Level playing field. But that isn't conducive to what they're trying to accomplish. So just understand that you are responsible for your energy and what you do with it, but you are not responsible for what you see going on around you. There's no way. You could be sitting at a red light in your car and witness a head-on collision between two cars in the intersection. Did you have anything to do with it? Absolutely not. Are you responsible for a drunk driver hitting and killing somebody that lives in a completely different state than you do, or a different country? Are you responsible for that? I can go on for hours with this. Are you responsible for World War II or Vietnam or all of the conflicts that are being waged around this world endlessly, and all of the collateral damage and the victims of those casualties of war? No, you're not. So you have to stop believing this mentality that you are responsible for everything that goes on around you. It's a bunch of nonsense. How could you be? Are you responsible right now for an airline that is late arriving, or perhaps the departure time has been extended 2 hours? Are you responsible for that? Or somebody in some airport around the world that lost their luggage? I could go on for hours. Law of attraction is nonsense. You activate things once you become an equivalent to that vibrational field. It's real simple, folks, man. It's just energy. It doesn't require an encyclopedic mentality to figure this out. Whatever you are vibrationally, you are a match to something, because this is a limitless universe. So just understand that you are not wholeheartedly responsible entirely for the reality that surrounds you, because that is an amalgam. That is a blending of every energy, creating what you see here in this vibrationally holographic environment. So once you detach from this sense of responsibility for everything that surrounds you, then you can begin to comfort yourself in knowing that you're only responsible for yourself. That's why they tell you Jesus Christ died for your sins on the cross. That's a bunch of garbage. Jesus Christ was assassinated for being black and for telling the truth, and they made him a public spectacle. They hung him, and they did terrible things to him in public to show these people this is what you get when you attempt to bring awareness to the masses. Because all he was doing was spreading the truth, that we are all God's chosen, not just a select few that wrote it in their Torah as we are the chosen of God. There's no such thing as the chosen of God, because check it. Human beings are the youngest to this planet. You're only here about 3.5 million years. All of the other species have been here for billions of years. So what? They're not God's chosen too? And they've been here longer than you were even created. What's up with that? Are you catching on? I hope so. I sincerely hope so. But nonetheless, you're not responsible for the everything that goes on around you every day. You're responsible for your energy and your energy alone, and what you choose to consciously do with that energy or not. That is where it begins, and that's where it ends.